Hey, and we're live. Mark Gassert here. Mark Gassert from Peachtree Corners, the peachiest place on the planet. And today we're going to talk about listening, active listening. And just got a quick question for everybody out there. Have you ever listened your way out of any situation, whether it's a sale, a conversation with your spouse, significant other, your child, business associate? Have you ever listened your way out of anything? In other words, have you lost by listening, actively listening? And if anybody's out there in Facebook Nation land, feel free, as always, since this is Mark's message. Monday, July the 20th, I'm going to give my shout outs to the Grow Live Nation, the Gittimer Tribe, which encompasses emerging sales winners 2020, the seller diehards, everybody out there on the face of the planet. And that includes the state of Georgia, right over here in Peachtree Corners. But yesterday, I'm going to throw this out to you, and I'll put this up here real quick. This is like a lineup card. Yesterday, I had to do 6 games. Saturday, another 6 games. So I was involved in a tournament. I don't normally do this age group. It was younger. I think it was like 9U, basically. And you're dealing with dad coaches and a lot of other variables out there, unknowns. But there's a thing where you exchange lineup cards. It's called the plate meeting. So it's between the coaches, each head coach of each team, obviously, and the 2 umpires. In this case, there are only 2. So we have our meeting, and what you're doing is conveying the message, the different rules that are outlined here. Like they have things for a courtesy runner. The home scorebook is considered official. Normers, if you go to various parks, you'll see a scoreboard up there. Yeah, I never pay attention to it because it's the person that's notating it there. Behind the scenes, a slung bat. When a kid throws a bat, in this case, he gets warned. Well, I had 2 guys do it in one of my games, and the coach said, hey, that's the second time. Isn't this guy out? Obviously, the rule stipulates it's a different player. So each individual gets a warning because of the age group. Balks, there were no warning. I'm not going to get into all the details of this and the different specifications for bats, but I'm getting into listening. What actually does all that mean? If anybody's out there listening, let's take a look at this. And that's the first thing I said was, have you ever listened your way out of anything? So, have you ever done that with your boss? You have conversations, you talk. It could be as a group on a virtual level. It could be individually on the phone, or it even could be virtual or face to face. But have you ever out listened yourself out of a situation with your boss? Think about it. All right. And how about, as you think about that one, and these are important, how about a business associate? Have you ever out listened yourself with a situation which includes your business associate? Maybe they're talking to you about account, internally, what's going on with the organization, and as you listen and truly listen with intent to listen, how do you think that makes the other people feel? And I call that active listening. When you're really engaged with them. And, we can take it to the next step. How about customer, client, probable purchaser? When you're on the phone with somebody, face to face, virtually, you're prepared, but then they've got some things they want to say or make a statement about. How do you think that makes them feel if you're truly active listening? Now, if you're writing as they're talking and they see that, that's okay. But if you're looking at your watch, you're looking around, you're not truly engaged with the individual, how do you think that impacts the conversation moving forward? even if it's your first time, obviously they're going to sit there and think, wow, this person is really not getting the message I'm trying to convey. And they're not truly engaged with me. It's like they got other things to do. And a lot of times that is conveyed through here, your eyes, through here, your ears, because you're doing this, you're using too much of the mouth. So chill out, relax, take a deep breath, and listen. You can learn from just about anybody if you truly listen. Or, you know, I'll show you this one. This gets into a personal level, your spouse, a significant other, or even your child. Do you really listen to them? Sometimes we take our spouses for granted, significant other, or even, it could be your son, daughter, stepson, stepdaughter, and you're not really listening to what they have to say. And you go, yeah, 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 I got it. Well, if you got it, they wouldn't be talking to you about certain things. So, no, you don't got it, as you're saying to somebody, whether it's in the business world or on a personal, your professional or personal. So, these are all things to think about. And, me, I always like to look up definitions. What is the definition? This is one variation in a theme. To make an effort to hear or pay close attention to someone or something, right? So that's what they say listening is. So I'll just share this with you. Definition: to make an effort to hear, to pay close attention to someone or something. And that is very, very important, particularly today. Listen to what the other side has to say. I've been in conversations, I'm sure we all have, and if you have, hit a one, and if you haven't, hit a two, where you're talking and you feel like you got really great engagement going here. And right after you finish, it's like you sense that other person's waiting for you to take a breath or stop, and bam, they're right in there throwing their 2 cents. Or they interrupt you midstream. Is that really active listening? So that's something to think about, right? And this is something I like to throw out, and you can take it for what it means, but it's always good to look up things. When I speak, I attempt to teach. Notice I use the word attempt. And then when I truly listen, I learn. Let me read that again. When I speak, I attempt to teach. When I truly listen, I learn. And the other night, I believe it was Friday night, Chris Rosh and a couple other people were online. I'm not going to get into all the names, but I learned a lot just by listening to their live streams, what they teach, how they approach life. Just getting a different perspective. Sometimes you step back because you're not always right. I screw up 24/7. I'll take the pledge over here. Yeah, that's me. And I mess up all the time, as a husband, as a father, as an umpire, as a sales consultant. Do I make mistakes? Hell yeah, I do. And if anybody tells you they don't, please tell them to call me. I'd like to know how perfect. I mean, I want to touch perfection. So we all make mistakes, and that's okay. And then this is where I kind of say, when you get right down to it, active listening shows how important the other person is to you, right? Let me read that again. Active listening shows how important the other person is to you. Active listening creates true engagement. That's me. I'm saying that. You can refute it, dispute it, and tell me I'm out to lunch. But if anybody wants to agree with it, hit a one. Hashtag replay. Tell me what you think. But, listening is so, so, so important. And you turn on the news and you got all sorts of different sides from, I'm not going to mention news networks and all that, and political entourage of parties and independents and whatever. And they got their version of what's going on in the world. And, And this guy's saying that, and that guy's saying this, and they're talking over one another. And you've probably seen it live on TV. Everybody's trying to carve out a niche and make a name for themselves. Hey, look at me. I'm Mr. or Mrs. Important. Doesn't work that way, you know. Anyway, I'm just going to read this one more time. Active listening shows how important the other person is to you, and active listening creates true engagement. And so we're talking about weekly Wednesday workshop. That's coming up July 22nd. You can see it underneath here. It's telling you what we're going to talk about. I'm just going to share a couple things with you. And what is listening? Okay, so I'll share these with you. This is what we're going to talk about on Wednesday, 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Pacific. For you West Coasters, I know you got to get up. So, what is listening? Listening is a skill. Number 2. Number 3, why don't we listen well? We're going to uncover these. Why listen? 4 key points to remember. Maybe I'll share 1 or 2 with you tomorrow as I'm going through this weekly Wednesday workshop process. And then we're going to uncover methods to improve listening. What can you do about it? There are things you can do. And you name the profession, if you don't master the art of listening, you're going to be in a world of hurt. Okay? I don't care if you're a doctor, lawyer, Indian chief. You've got to master this. So here's another thing. As we talk about it, listening is a skill that can only improve with practice. And these are some of the things we work with our clientele with. What they can do, we show them how, and the next time you'll know when a customer looks back at you and says, now where were we? Okay. So think about that one. And some of the other topics I'm going to cover tomorrow on this. What is listening? We covered all that, but we'll talk about desired outcomes. My apologies there. Listen with intent. Recognize and challenge impediments to listening. So we'll uncover some of those, just a little bit, but I just wanted to share this with you. And again, weekly Wednesday workshop, Wednesday, July 22nd, 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Pacific. And again, this is Mark's message, and it's an extension of Sales Concepts. You can go to the website there, salesconcepts.com/listening, and take a look yourself firsthand. So with that, this one's kind of a quickie, but I'm going to have a quote for you. So let's take a look at this quote. Believe in what you are doing and in those who are helping you to do it, and you are bound to win. So I will show you this quote. Believe in what you're doing and in those who are helping you do it, and you are bound to win. Yes, yes, yes. Napoleon Hill. So I wanted to share that quote with you. And with that, always, 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 from Peachtree Corners, Georgia, the peachiest place on the planet, I say to you, be a leader, be a friend, most important of all, be a service. Let's stay safe out there, keep maintaining your health. And in baseball terms, very simply, ladies and gentlemen, keep swinging for the fences. And let's knock it out of the park. Listen, I will see you tomorrow, Tuesday, July the 21st. We'll pick this up. We'll give you a more in-depth approach to our listening here at Mark's Message. And have a fantastic day. Like I said, I will see you tomorrow, Tuesday, July 22nd.